Hi guys, Luna here. I am back with another prophetic message from Creator and also some messages from my spirit helpers. I haven't been able to come on here for a while because I had some personal things to attend to. So today I am going to be bringing a couple of messages and also quite a bit of information to help you guys navigate through these times. It's very good information because there are things that I do personally implement into my life, spiritually, physically, emotionally, and I feel that these are things that we need to put into action in our own lives to help us through these times. Because remember, I bring these messages, but these messages don't mean anything or they don't help you if you're not doing your part to keep yourself um, balanced, right? But also, as I go into to sharing the messages, I will go uh, what I call prophetic rewind and just kind of do at a glance that where we've been, where we're at, what we're going, and cover some of the things that have already happened, because that will also let you guys know that these messages are coming from Creator. It's not just me sharing things that I think are happening. Although I do watch and listen to other people that are sharing information, and I use my discernment, my intuition, and decipher what is it that I feel, um, feels real, feels true, and I will bring and share those with you guys here too. So it's kind of a little bit of everything combined in these messages, and I encourage and I ask you guys to use your own intuition and discernment to see what feels right for you, because this whole process is about coming back to self, having a relationship with Creator, as I've been saying over and over. And it's very, very important because of the times that we're in. So much stuff is happening super fast that it's, we have to be able to just kind of like decipher and know what is happening, what is a psyop, what is real, what is just put out there to distract us. So I wanted to come on here. Gosh, the first message that I got was already, I think it was, might have put the date on here. So I'm trying to keep track of when they're coming in and bring them to you on a timely manner, but I just haven't been able to. And so the first message that I'm going to share with you guys, I actually received July 20th. That's how long it's been since I've been trying to get this message out. But I also know that the messages, when I do deliver them, they get they get delivered when they're supposed to in a timely manner, but also they're still relevant. Um, so I'm going to read a couple of the messages that came through for me personally, and then also I want to share a message that one of you received, because see, it's about what we're all collectively receiving. It's about our own relationship to Creator, and I feel that the more messages that I share from you guys, from the viewers, and bring them to the rest of the people and read them, really helps us know that we are connected, that we are receiving messages, and also encourages each other, supports each other, and it really helps us, um, just for moral support and uplift the energy, because we don't want to only focus on bringing the negativity and what, oh my gosh, look what's happening now. Those things are important for us to be aware of, but it's also as important for us to know that there is good happening simultaneously, and that's very important for us to know. And that's why I give you guys tips and tools on what to do to keep yourself balanced, mentally, physically, emotionally, because we have to take responsibility and take action into remaining stable, but also sharing information, sharing truth, and keeping ourselves healthy, because there's so much happening, which I'm going to get into. So I really encourage that you do your best to listen through and stay to the end, because it's just so much that I'm going to be reading that I already got, but also as I'm sharing, I'm also continuously downloading information while I'm bringing the messages. So I might expand on the message that I'm reading, or new messages altogether are dropping in as I'm giving you guys. as I'm here connecting with you guys this way. And then at the end, I like to bring some messages from Spirit. I pull a couple of cards from different decks, which today I'm excited because I ordered a new deck. This is the very first time I'm going to use it. So I actually haven't really had time to look through them, to really connect to it. So I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to just really decipher the message, because it takes me a while to connect and build my relationship with a new deck. And I haven't been able to, but I trust that, the message that's supposed to come through will come through. But yeah, so I'm going to pick a couple of cards out at the end. And that's usually how I close my time with you guys. So let me begin by, let's see, where do I want to begin? Make sure I have my glasses here. What I will do is I'm going to start with the prophetic rewind. So I'm going to go over some stuff that had been prophesied, or that, Spirit already brought to you guys in the past, and just touch on a couple of things that have already come to pass. So let's start with, let's start there. So this one here is just going to go over the explosive July. So if you watched a couple of videos back where it's titled Explosive July, I talked about, basically July was going to be full of stuff happening, just very explosive, and just, for you to pay attention, because things were really going to start moving. And they have. Again, you have to be aware of what's happening and an active participant, meaning searching for information, and it's all out there. If you're just, kind of this doesn't matter to you, then it probably go right over your head, because mainstream is not going to share it. And so some of the things that I know have been happening is, and this is just kind of not in order, these are just things that I personally have come across or heard that have happened in July. And one of the things is that, as you guys know, The Sound of Freedom came out. That one was a huge one in itself, because it's bringing awareness to the horrendous things that are happening to the children. So that right there was huge. It really, what happened is it made the people that are, unfortunately doing all these horrific things to the children, it made them come out in panic and show themselves. And how they did that is, there's, if you're not familiar with the Rothschilds, I encourage you to look into them. They're a big part of why all this is happening. And there was one of them that was interviewed. I can't remember if it was CNN or it was one of those platforms that are obviously not here to help us. And he came out saying that movie was, pretty much not giving it good reviews. And that was very telling, because if they're not giving that something like that good reviews, it's because they're afraid of the information getting out. And so what does that say? And a lot of other people also came out trying to attack and make it seem like it was not true, that it was a conspiracy theory. I mean, it was like so many negative things trying to be said about this movie, even attacking the person, the actor. And I'm not going to say a lot of the names because I don't want to get flagged. I have to say this all the time so that you can also use your critical, thinking to decipher what I'm bringing, because it's important that you do a little bit of your work, your homework, and be active. So when I bring these messages, I'm not always going to say names or the entire piece of the information, because I want you guys to look into it yourself. Don't just take what I bring, just don't just take it in as truth, because even though, yes, that's what I'm focusing on, the only way we break through this is by we all are doing research and bringing awareness to ourselves. And so that was a huge thing that really brought a lot of these people out from the woodworks. Now, also, what's been happening is there's been the hearings in the Supreme Court. Um, a lot of whistleblowers coming out, a lot of uh, you know, declassified documents that are available, and they're talking about the laptop, they're talking about the bribery going on with the current administration. They're talking about, I mean, just so much information that has just boom exploded out. And then recently, what happened with uh, Obama's chef? That's huge. That is huge. I feel that there's going to be more coming up or out with that because that right there, I mean, if we all like collectively turn the other way, it's going to be swept under the rug. And I feel it's important that we continue to have conversation about it in a way where it doesn't lose traction or it doesn't lose focus, because obviously there's something that is not right there. And yeah, I'm trying to feel into how or what we can do, but really I think it's just having these conversations, right? Um, if one mentions it and the other one, continues to bring it up, it's almost like it doesn't go away, so they can't just sweep it under the rug. And that's part of the message that I'm going to be talking about in a little bit. But that is a huge one too. I mean, that's not random, right? Um, what else has happened? Um, well, yeah, because of the movie again, the focus was on Oprah for a while, and because she has what is the class, or I'm sorry, a school. And I don't quote me, I'm not sure where it's at, but it's like, yeah, I'm not even gonna try to figure out where it's at. But if you know, maybe you guys can share where it's at. But she has that school, um, and if you followed, what's been happening in that school, there was alleged, allegations against some of the girls there, some of the children, and so now there's been a lot more stuff coming out on her, especially because she was friends with John of God. If you don't know who he is, then look into who he is. He was just convicted 99 years because he committed heinous crimes on women. He was doing a lot of the stuff that why I've been speaking out on, and really devoted my last 3.5 years, 4 years to bringing this information. He just got sentenced. I can't remember exactly when, but she was good friends with him, and so now more people are coming out and speaking up about things that she's been doing, and how she was participant in a lot of um, just a lot of stuff. I don't want to get too much into the details. Celebrities, some of them are starting to really step into their power and speak up. Ice Cube is one of them. He's been really sharing about what's going on, or what has been going on for a very long time in Hollywood. And not just him, but more people are coming out and speaking up. Mel Gibson, um, who else? I mean, there's a couple other people. And so what I see happening is that people are going to start turning on each other, and they already have, but it's going to be more. It's going to pick up. Um, so all this has been happening. All this happened in July. So again, I'm recapping because it's important for you guys to know that when I bring these messages, when I bring the word, it's not coming from me. And by reviewing what has taken place, excuse me, that will help you guys realize that it's time to pay attention. Um, let's see what else. Excuse me. There's more things that I can review, but again, I want to make sure I have enough time to go over the other stuff because there's quite a bit. I apologize if that's really loud. Um, but every time I'm bringing information and truth, something does not want me to speak, and I have to push through it. So if you've watched these videos before, you know this happens quite often, and they just don't want me talking. But I'm not going to stop. I'm going to continue pushing through it. Um, so the next thing I want to go over is I want to share with you guys a word that one of you received. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, so I apologize if I'm not. It's Ornella. It's Ornella, Ornella or Ornella. You guys also have been receiving messages, and what I'm going to start doing is sharing the messages that you guys also receive, because it really is important for us to know that, you know, we are hearing Creator, we are receiving these messages, and to also uplift the energy. I don't want to just bring information that is, you know, going to bring fear or depression or anxiety, because this is not what this is about. I share information to help you guys navigate through these times. And so I make it a point to also bring positive things to you guys. That's why I read, you know, a couple of cards at the end, you know, to bring inspiration. And I also share things that I implemented into my life to help me physically, emotionally, and mentally. And so by reading this is, you know, to bring this positive, beautiful message that I found very, just very, very profound and beautiful, in that, you know, it goes exactly with what my messages are. So I resonated with it, and I want to share it. And if you guys also, you know, are receiving messages and you want me to read them, you can send them to me, email them to me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start reading your guys' messages too. So this is not my the messages that I received, but it's for all of us. That's why I'm reading it. And so it says, power of prayer has been ignored. It is time for us to re-explore. The words that we share with the divine will never disappoint. It will come right on time. It's hard to see when things are dark, but that's exactly when we connect back to our heart. God is there no, excuse me, says God is there no matter what you believe. He's waiting for you to connect and receive. There's no judgment on how long it has been. It's always been about looking within. There are miracles awaiting. So reach out to start and realize that praying is what doesn't keep us apart. In prayer, there is peace that we all need right now to not lose sight when things tumble down. We have strength inside that no one can see. It is up to all of us to find excuse me. It is up to all of us to find that's you and that's me. Ornella. So that is so beautiful, because it's so true, you know, like it doesn't matter how long it's been, we can always come back to our prayer, back to our connection with Creator. It's never gonna, you know, He's never gonna judge us, He's never gonna be disappointed with us. So as long as we remember to, you know, come back to our roots, come back to our center, and there is never any judgment, you know, by Creator. You know, this is where we connect. This is how we all connect, and this is the message that, you know, I think it's so important for us to always remember. So there's no guilt in it if we haven't been able to, you know, have time, or whatever it is that is going on in our life, and we forget sometimes, or we just are too busy. God will never judge as long as we go back into our prayer and connect. And I mean, it could be while we're driving, it can be when we're going on the walk around the neighborhood. As long as we, for a moment, just pause, and even that pause is enough, because we realized, we remembered, oh wait, oh yeah, okay, here it is. You know, here God is, here Creator is, And if we can do that from time to time, that's enough sometimes. So don't feel bad and just do your best. Just continue to go back into that prayer. So thank you for that, Ornelia. Um, so next I want to talk about, let's see, I'm telling you, I've wrote so many things and I'm trying to keep it in order. Um, yeah, so it says things are coming in on both sides. Things have been put in place. Let's pray it's done on time. There's so much happening on both sides, and I think I already talked about this, so I'm not going to spend too much, time talking about it. But it's important that we know things are happening on both sides. So our prayer is very important that we pray it's done on time. So whatever it is that Creator has in store for us, the breakthroughs and the celebrations, and it really comes from the people, from us stepping into that realization in a timely manner. And I feel that that's what this was saying. Let's pray it's done on time. And so that means, like, let's pray that the people are really. I don't like saying that phrase, waking up, because I mean we all are awake, right? We all are already in our own process. But I guess, the best way I can describe it or explain it is that we all are in the same vibration, quicker rather than later. And I also know that, some people are going to experience their process and their lessons, and that's okay too. But the more of us that are on board, then it raises the vibration for the people around us. And it does also, it's contagious, and it helps them come into a realization that maybe they wouldn't have on their own. So this is why it's important that we continue to work on ourselves and raise the vibration as much as we can for ourselves. And then it is like a magnet, and it helps. It just kind of trickles, right? It pulls people to us, but also it's like the pebble in the pond. It also vibrates out. Um, so let's see what else. I'm going to read the message that I received July 20th. Okay, so this is the word that I received. And I don't even remember what it said because it's been a while. So I'm going to kind of rehear it with you guys right now. It says, pray like you've never prayed before. Pray them out of the dark, out of the caves, cracks, and tunnels. Let them not hide, shapeshift, or camouflage into hiding. Pray so much for the light of God to shine so bright on them for all to see them. Pray so much that they'll expose each other until there's no more safe place for them to hide, and that they will have to turn on themselves or turn to me. Oh yes, turn to me, I said, for I am the only one who can save man. Save man through my word, my love, my light. Repent and you shall be saved from the fury that's about to touch down on those who went against me. For I, my children, am the great I am, and I am going to deliver. And so it is, so it is, so it is, and so it is done. Wow, yeah. So I kind of, remember it now a little bit, and it's what I kind of just already talked about a little bit. They're going to be turning on themselves, and that is going to help further expose those who are trying to go into hiding. Many of them know how to shapeshift and hide, and that's what they do best. And I talked about this a very long time ago, where I saw them crawling in the cracks and the crevices and caves like roaches. And so Creator saying it is important that we focus on shining the light on them so that they're not able to hide back into the darkness and then reemerge later because they know how to do this. And this is why this has been going on for a very long time, for many years, is because when they know that things are really, really, they're about to pretty much get diminished, they go back into hiding, they lay low, they lay the rest of their little nest eggs until they are they reinforce themselves and they grow again, and then they come back out. And so Creator saying we must keep the pressure on them until all of them are completely gone. Let us not be fooled because they camouflage or they shapeshift or they hide in between the people, like between the people. They're very good at infiltrating. They're very good at pretending. They're tricksters. I've said this before. And that's what they're doing now. And in fact, I got this, as I just said, on the 20th. And to validate this message, I just listened to a podcast. I think it was Nino Rodriguez, where he was talking about, or he's also picking up that he has a feeling they're going to start infiltrating, because that's what they do best. They infiltrate all the positive stuff and turn it into bad. That's why, we're in an upside down world, and what good is bad and bad is good, because they know how to manipulate. They know how to use words to create spells. They've been doing this for a long time. But when we're aware and we're onto it, then those spells do not work anymore. In fact, that is another, well, I'll go into it in a minute. Let me finish with this one. But he was basically also picking up that they're going to hide or try to infiltrate into the I guess, like spiritual, he said Christian community, but I see it as in pretty much everywhere. And they hide, right? They cloak themselves as if they're one of us. And people, if you're not in your center, if your relationship is not strong with Creator, then you're not going to be able to recognize them, because they know how to do this very well. They know how to hide. And that's what they're doing right now, is what I've been shown. They're pulling their savings or their bonds or whatever you want to call it. They're pulling them all out. They're their reserves, because they're also preparing. They're also getting their reserves. And that's why I said both sides are doing the same similar thing and preparing and regrouping and trying to figure out what's the next move. And so as they're pulling their people back, they're going under tunnels again and waiting it out until they emerge again. And then some of them are becoming moles and infiltrating and trying to take over, trying to take over us in that way. That's why this prayer is super, super, super important, for us to continue praying them out of all and every hiding place they can possibly think they can get away and just, you get my point. So that is what Creator is asking us to really focus on in this time around. And what I was going to say, well, no, I lost it. I should have said it right then and there. It'll come back around as I continue the message. So that was one. And then the other one that I got probably a couple of days ago, actually maybe last week. This is a shorter one. This came in a dream, but it was very much a message. It was very much a prophetic message. I apologize for the fumbling and mumbling, but right now I'm just, again, I'm going through so much, and I'm just bringing these messages in as I'm coming back into my body from just doing so much stuff, and I've been spreading myself very thin. But I know that you guys are going to receive and hear the message that I'm actually bringing. But what I received, the other word that I received the other night is that it said, get ready for opportunities. The flag, okay, so this is my dream. I'm going to describe the dream that I had. There was a flag that was flying, right? It was so high that the pole was bending. There was wind, right? Um, and I was asking Creator, why are you showing me this flag? Because it was like at the top of a hill and the pole was so high and the flag was flying, but it was also kind of bending. And I was asking Creator, well, why is the flag bending? Is that something bad? Is that a bad, symbol? Or um, just show me what is it that you want me to see or know about that, because there wasn't much else happening. And then I heard Creator say, it's asking for all of us to unite. It's the United States, right? So we all must unite for the times of tribulations, and that's why the flag was wavering. It wasn't firm and straight up, but it wasn't torn and it wasn't falling. And so the wind, was causing the turbulation, and it was, like teetering, but it was still high. It was still up high and it was standing tall. And even though there was just, all this tension happening with it, I knew that there was a sense of victory. That's the word. There was a sense of victory that was happening and taking place. And I saw the word united so huge, and I was like, okay, Creator saying, we are united. We are all still united. And this is how we get past or through this. And at the end, we have victory. And we are to stay peaceful. That was also very clear. United and peaceful, which has been the message all the like this whole time. However, because we're coming into even harder turbulent times, Creator's reminding us that if we remember we are one, we are united, and that we refrain from buying into their nonsense, into the fears, into, the race card, into all the things that they create for us to, dislike each other or to be mad at each other, um, then we have the victory. The victory is ours. And we must remember this. It says, get ready for the opportunities. So that tells me we're going to be victorious. And then after that, all the opportunities come in. So if you did not set yourself up for victory, it's very important that you do. And what I mean by that is, as we go into that shift, into the transfer, you had plenty of time to invest in the silver, to invest in the gold. I talked about this like 2 years ago. And if you haven't done that, you need to do that, because these are opportunities. The other opportunities that I was shown is that as companies start plummeting, because they're going to start closing, especially, I don't want to say, which ones, but the larger corporations that are owned by the evil people, a lot of them are going to start shutting down. And so get in a position for you to take advantage of those opportunities. And what I mean by that is, I saw that there's going to be like a lot of sales or things that are going to be just about given away. So if you have a cushion where you can set yourself up to buy things in bulk, or to prepare for like future, because right now it's not, I think right now most people are okay, but what I'm seeing is like prepare for like a year from now. That's when we're really going to have to figure out the hard times. So if you have the means to, when a store closes, buy yourself and your family, your children things like underclothes, necessities, hygiene supplies, whatever it is that you feel, is valuable to your personal needs. That's what you want to invest in, baby food, baby supplies, diapers, that sort of stuff. You have the means and you know that there's a store that's going to close. Creator saying, set yourself up for those opportunities and go in, get as much as you can for the future. So now, I mean, for now, yes, too, but I think for a year from now, or even a few months from now, like 6 months from now, that's when you want to focus on purchasing things for that timeline. I hope that made sense. So, if you have any questions about that, you need me to clarify, ask me, and I'll try to clarify. But there is going to be some changes happening with stores, and just get ready for those opportunities. Um, the other opportunity, or the other way you can prepare yourself, is because those stores are going to be closing. If you haven't already made the switch into the Melaleuca, which is where I've been buying most of my products now, I advise or suggest that you do. I don't advise, so I suggest that you do, because I mean, you have to be prepared, and they have amazing products, mostly clean. So why wouldn't you? Again, it's about taking care of your health, um, and especially because the other thing that I saw, I'm telling you, there was so much information, so I'm trying to get through it as efficiently, but not leave anything out. So I apologize if I keep going back and forth. I just want to make sure I get everything in. Um, and as I'm talking, I'm just, again, remembering things, but more things are getting dropped in. And I want to make sure you guys get it all, because I don't know when I'll come back on here again. Um, so what was I saying? Oh my goodness. See? Yep. That's what happens. Go in and out of it. So I know it'll come back around. Um, yeah, it kind of went there. So when I'm channeling, I have to bring it to you at the moment. Otherwise, it just kind of goes. I know it'll be delivered when it's supposed to. So let me go into reading what is a prayer, but it's also like a poem, and it's so beautiful, um, that, yeah, I want to share it with you guys. This one it says, to those who know me, do not panic. Do not fear, for I am near. In times of darkness, I am your heart that beats so loud. Listen to me. I am the breath you breathe, so rapid. Breathe me in. If you feel you're in the dark, remember, when you pray, you close your eyes to connect with me. Therefore, that's when we're the closest. So when you feel you are in fear, close your eyes and know I am here. So yeah, I got that prayer, and I was like, oh, that's just beautiful. It's like poetic, almost poetic. So I wanted to share with you guys, because it's, again, about just really keeping yourself in your heart space. Which, yes, segue into some other stuff that I also want to remind you guys or share with you guys about. Um, if you have not already done a heavy metal detox, it's very important that you do that. See, I remember now, that helped loop me back into what I was about to say earlier. Do heavy metal detox. Just continue to detox your body. Go through the phases. If it's too much to do all at once, then do like right now I am saying heavy metal, but then also do like a lymphatic cleanse, then do a digestive, do a colon, do the blood, and just continue to rotate and continue to do, just cleanses after cleanses after cleanses, because with everything that is being bombarded and thrown at us, we want to make sure that we're constantly flowing in our physical body, and that also helps our spirit and our energy bodies. So the parasite cleanse is another one. If anything, right now, start with parasite cleanse and a heavy metal cleanse. I highly suggest and recommend that you do those two. And then if you haven't already gone to my Earth Vibrations Instagram page and got the detox for the bath, I recommend that you do that, because that also pulls out a lot of toxins and heavy metals, and you want to make sure all that is just out of you as much as possible. Especially because another thing that I am receiving and hearing is that both from other people that are sharing this, but also Spirit saying that they're getting ready to throw out another, what started all this a few years back. I don't want to say the word, but I'll just say flu-like symptoms. They're getting ready to throw another one out. In fact, from what I hear is that it is already going around, and they're speeding everything up because it was supposed to be released in the fall, but because they're in a panic, it's been pre-released. So people are already starting to experience certain things, and you want to make sure you're ahead of the ball before it lands in your court. And so the detox is very important. Remember to keep your immune system high. Do a lot of exercises, do a lot of breath work. Breath work is going to help strengthen your, your lungs, your breathing, because that's what they want. They always try to attack that, and that's why people get, weak. They, have low energy, all that stuff, because they can't breathe. They can't, well, basically, just make sure that you have all your organs working, and that you're physically moving, that you're breathing, that you're sleeping enough. And if you continue to do this, you'll be okay. It's not saying that, you may not feel something, but you will be strong enough to, make sure that you get over on the other side of it. So do this for your family, even the little ones. The little ones have stronger immunity, but they still need to be kept just constantly, flowing. I think that's it. I'm going to pull some cards and see what Spirit has for us. Again, this is a new deck, so let's see how I do. And it's not even about me. I just heard Spirit say, well, it's not you. Just remember, it's not you. It's coming through you. So I'm just the vessel. So that helps me a lot, get out of my way so that I can actually deliver the message. And so it says, meandering pathway, flow. Of course. It is us creating the path, right? The only way we flow is if we create the path. We can wander off from time to time, but, we're going to do a little bit more work to clear the path. And so Creator's saying, as long as you continue the flow, it's once again validating what I just spoke into, which I love. And then it helps everything flow. And then I love how he's holding that beautiful walking stick, because it's saying we have, the magic, the ability to create that path. It's within us, within our ability, within our intention to decide what future do we want, what path do we want to navigate in. And it's just beautiful forest that he's walking in. So reminding us to nourish ourselves, to be connected to Mother Earth and to Spirit, Creator, that all creation is within us. So we have the ability to create, and it's all just a matter of us remembering who we are, where we come from, and that we have that medicine within us. Okay, so a few of them fell out, but one flipped up, so I'm going to go with the one that flipped up. It says, foggy bog, patience. Okay, yeah, so things appear to be a little foggy right now, and it goes along with the message that I was talking about with the flag. So yes, things are foggy right now. It requires patience for us to know that things are moving along, that things are being done. Um, so even though things seem a little shady, a little foggy, know that things are still moving and that they're being worked out. And it takes our faith and our trust to know that. So be patient with the process, but also be active in knowing that we can create that path or our future by taking initiative and being doing our part and contributing to it moving faster. Um, so yes, that is it for today. Again, I apologize for the you know going in and out, but this is how it comes in. I try to be as efficient as I can with my time and bring as much as I can in condensed. So it's a lot. It's a lot of information to deliver, but also a lot of information for you guys to receive. So I encourage you to watch it a couple of times if you need to, because you always end up catching or hearing something that you didn't the first or second time. And so, I like to do that. I like to even go back to some of my messages from the past and revisit them because they're always kind of relevant in our time or in our life, depending on where we're at in our process. Because again, we're all in this process at our own time. And so if you're watching this video for the first time, some of my older videos are going to bring a lot of insight and very helpful for your process because you might barely, and I don't want to say barely in any, way to put anyone down, but meaning like we've been going through this process, or I've been bringing all these videos for a while, so you might have to go back and watch those and then catch up. But just the same, if you start now and then just move forward, so as long as you're an active participant, you're going to be right where you're at. Um, so yeah, that's all for now. Till next time, love and peace to everyone.